Hi there, Cancer. Michele Bee here. I love to help you raise your vibration so that you can attract love, abundance, and soul purpose or meaning into your life. I like to do check-ins every once in a while about how things are going with you astrologically, and I use the tarot to talk about it a little bit. If you hear noises in the background, it's because we have had some pretty dramatic flooding happening in Northwest Washington in my region. So there's a storm happening outside, but I also have a little boy that's sharing my one room apartment with me today, and he's on the computer. He's got his headphones on, and he doesn't realize that his little outbursts can be heard by people besides him. Moms out there that are watching this right now understand. So sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and let him be frustrated, because sometimes we just need to be frustrated, right? If anybody knows that, that's Cancer. So I'm looking at mid-November 2021 right now. Today is the 15th of November, and I just posted a little video of talking about the full moon in Taurus that's happening on the 19th. That's also an eclipse, so it's going to be affecting you kind of strongly. It's going to be affecting everybody strongly, but I think there's one particular aspect that's really hitting home, and that is in the area of your soul purpose and your abundance. Okay, but the main themes that are coming up right now are a lot about love. So the download that I got for your affirmation is, I graciously receive love. I think that's an issue that you've had for a little while, is believing that you're someone. Sorry, Cancer. I have to say what I hear needs to be said. You've been a person that doesn't believe that you deserve to be loved. And that's how, I'm not trying to blame the victim here. If you've been attracted to jerks, that doesn't excuse jerky behavior, but you were attracted to them in the first place, and that's because you thought that you're a person that doesn't deserve to be treated very well. All right, so you were attracted to that. That does not excuse poor behavior. Just getting that out there. And I know I'm probably going to hear something about it in the comments, but that's just the way I see it. For me, I'm non-committal. I attract non-committal people. That's the way, that's what happens. So the overview cards that I got were the Emperor, the Knight of Cups, and the Lovers, but they were all in reverse. And so I said, all right, well, the reverse is trying to say, I'm trying to hide this from myself, but let's just get it out in the open and talk about it. The overview for like all of the energies is, I deserve what I want, okay? I deserve to receive love and money and good health. I deserve that. But for some reason, you've had it in your head that you didn't, all right? So you have to retrain yourself. And I think just affirmations and mantras alone really aren't it. We have to practice taking baby steps in the direction of what it is that we want, and watching the feedback that we get, and having that proof be what changes our minds about what reality is. But what I'm seeing from all of this is like, I put out the effort and all I get back is betrayal, right? All I get back is not being good enough. And it's definitely stemming from a relationship with a father figure. With this guy's right in the middle of the set. So it's like dad, or it could be a female figure that had a masculine energy, that it was just like looking down at you and being like, okay? And this is something that could be very subconscious. It doesn't have to be something that's consciously happening in your mind, but it's like, I always have to prove, like, why is it that I'm attracted to these people that I feel I have to prove myself to? It's because you're trying to prove yourself that you're lovable to your father. Woo! Okay. It is what it is. But you know what? We always have the choice to change our future. The Lovers isn't just about the love between two people. It's also about the love that we choose to have for ourselves. You can at any point say, you know, that's not me anymore. I'm not the person that is that. I don't want to be miserable like that anymore. I don't want that to be my karma anymore. I want my karma to be someone that is adored and taken care of and I adore and take care of the person that I'm with, and I'm not a person that automatically jumps to conclusions and gets jealous and defensive, because I'm always on the lookout for the possibility that somebody could be breaking my heart. And something that's really triggering this in you, I think, is that full moon in Taurus. It's got such an innocent, sweet, childlike energy that it's bringing out that inner child, that childhood trauma of having an adult saying, well, who you are isn't good enough. All right. Yeah, it was a person of some kind of authority, whether that be a father figure or, a teacher, or someone who just like wasn't. You thought that if you were good enough, that person would show up for you. Okay. So anyway, it's dragging that full moon idealism. That child in the full moon is being drug up, and it's like bringing like the mean person. Whether I'm speaking to someone who identifies as feminine or masculine, the majority of the people that I'm speaking to identify as feminine. So that inner mean girl is coming out and being like, no, you're not good enough. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. Every time that the full moon is triggering that innocence and idealism. So who's going to win, Cancer? Who's going to win? I want the innocent girl to be reparented, to believe that she can be anyone she wants to be. And that includes someone who is adored and looked out for and considered and taken care of. And the girl that is worth loyalty in all of her relationships. Let's look specifically at your love messages. The cards that I pulled are interesting. They're very self-protective. This is the energy of quick movement, so I'm going to come back to that in just a second. But the Two of Swords is like, I don't know, am I in or am I out? It's a non-committal energy. Whether you are in a relationship currently or you're considering being in one, you're looking for one, you'd like to have one. This is a person that is protecting their heart, and they can't decide whether or not they want to commit because they don't want their heart to be broken the way that it was broken before. This is also a very see, both of these people are shielding their hearts. One is with their thoughts. The other one is shielding their heart with they're hiding in their house, essentially. They're hiding behind their stuff. They're hiding behind their cat. They're hiding behind their work. I don't have time to be vulnerable in a relationship because I have too much work to do. They're just like using anything they can to shield themselves from vulnerability. All right. I know that I sound like I'm just criticizing you, and you might be saying, well, I'm in a relationship with someone who is behaving in that way. In that case, who we're in a relationship with and how we see them is often a reflection of our internal landscape. I'm victim blaming again. Here I am. If you really don't want to be in that kind of relationship, or if you really do want to bring a healthy, beautiful relationship into your life, you have to make the decision. Take off your blindfold, set down one sword, make that decision that is what you want. I've decided that I'm going to be vulnerable in relationships so that I attract someone who is also vulnerable. I decided to be this ideal child, this idealistic child that knows that they deserve this beautiful Disney romance. I'm a person that deserves that. Reality is not quite like that, but we can imagine something close to that, right? Something that's at least healthy. Anyway, my nose is just itching like crazy because there's so much energy flowing through me right now. Thank you for this energy that's flowing through me. I asked for an affirmation to help clarify those love cards that came up. I let go of who I should be and embrace who I am. And I feel like this Emperor was speaking to you in your childhood, and it was like, you can't depend on someone else to take care of you. You must never let yourself be vulnerable. They taught you this way, either directly or indirectly. Never be vulnerable in your close relationships, because someone will break your heart. So you have this tough facade. You have this strong facade. Like, I don't need to be vulnerable. I don't need to be in relationships. That's that shell, that crab shell that's around you all the time. That someone who wants to be close to you can't get through, even if they wanted to. They couldn't get through it. And so they're like, well, I guess what's the point of trying to if Cancer's not going to be willing to be vulnerable and they're always playing tough all the time, then I guess I'll go over here. And then you're like, see, see, that proves it. Nobody wants to be close to me. I know you didn't want to hear any of that, Cancer. You wanted to hear that there's a relationship coming in. You wanted to hear that the other person was a bad guy. There's a pretty good chance that other person was a bad guy too. All right. But if you were really ready for a truly vulnerable relationship, you kick the bad guy to the curb and get together with somebody. If you really want to, you're going to get together with someone who's ready for loyalty, ready for compassion, and that the person that's ready for vulnerability and open-heartedness. Let down your guard, let down your shield, be vulnerable, and let the chips fall where they're going to fall. If you can do this for yourself first, you're going to attract in connections that are like that. Now, let's talk about your abundance. I'm going to set all of these energies to the side, and there's this other thing that's happening. And it does have to do with self-love. It does have to do with what you think you deserve, okay? Self-love is the basis of love with other people, and it also shows the universe what you deserve and for your health and your money, your livelihood. It is storming so hard outside right now. No better time to talk about water signs than during a raging storm. This hermit is coming in and it's looking over. This is you looking out, looking over where you're at right now. And that full moon in Taurus this week on the 19th of November, it's like a full moon shining down on where you are when it comes to your health and your livelihood. And it's like there's a part of you that's like, there's this thing that I really want to do. This wand is what you really want to do. This wand is what you really want to do, right? But you don't know how to get there. And the emperor is coming in saying, you can't make a living doing that. Okay? And then there's like that idealistic child. The moon is shining on that idealistic child that was like, someday I'm going to be an actress. Someday I'm going to do this and do that, right? Like there's like all the things that you could do, and then the emperor energy was coming in and saying, but you can't make a living doing that. Nobody does that. And just because the environment that you came from didn't know how to get there doesn't mean that you can't get there, all right? Excuse my itchy nose. So yeah, that full moon is illuminating this storyline for you. And you're like, hey, I kind of feel bad that I didn't pursue those things in my younger years that I should have. And so we had this Five of Cups energy. It's like, why didn't I do what I should have done when I should have done it? Why didn't I follow up on pursuing those interests that I had that other people told me I can't get to? Forgive yourself. Be compassionate for yourself. You didn't know how, but you might have some ideas on how to get there now. Now, if you have no idea how to get to this idealistic livelihood that you would really like to have, or the perfect body, or the excellent vitality, this is what I suggest that you do. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Hold your heart, my dear. Take a deep breath, exhale. Hold your heart like you're supporting it, and you say to your heart, you are safe, your bills are paid, you have absolutely nothing to be concerned about except fulfilling your destiny. This is your destiny. If it's in your heart, if it sparks some kind of exciting feeling inside of you, It is your destiny, okay? You have to do it. And then you say, please, guides, higher spirit or higher self, universe, source, God, whatever entities you identify with for guidance, please guide me then toward the next step to getting to where I want to be, to getting to where that Taurus full moon wants me to be. Okay? All you need is the next step. And once you've completed the next step, do it again. Ask your heart for the next step. What is the next step? One step at a time. And before you know it, you're going to be there, Cancer. You're going to be where you want to be, and you will believe in magic. The Emperor won't, it'll be like a little voice that's still back there, just like, huh, 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 huh. But then it's going to be like, I love you for trying to support me. I love you for trying to protect me. Thank you, but I don't need you right now. Okay? I don't need you. I don't need you anymore. How about I let you know when I do? Because I feel like this influence didn't want to hurt you or hold you back. It didn't want to oppress you. It wanted to protect you. This entity thought that they were doing what was best to keep you safe. But what they actually did was oppressed you. It's okay. Forgive it. Reparent yourself. Teach yourself that you deserve to be happy. You deserve to be loved. And you deserve to have all the abundance and great health. Period. If you love this reading, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. And in the description box below this video, there's a link to my Instagram. You can go follow me over there. Mwah. I love you. Thank you so much for being with me today. Have a great holiday, and I will see you soon. Bye, Cancer.